What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Jagged Alliance Flashback. In the previous episode, we had murdered some guys. This guy's just hung his head in shame and is crying in a corner now. But that's what happens when you bring shorts to a battlefield. This guy's dead and the flies are already working on him. Those are some big-ass flies. So I think I'm going to move along before they decide they like living fleshy bits. And so we're going to go to the map screen, which is down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Bam! And this might actually have a whole bunch of new stuff on it because I have not played the release version yet. Let's see here. This is the strategic map. You can manage squads and also manage San Hermanos. Okay, so it's San Hermanos. It's not Badilla. Badilla is the name of the city. San Hermanos. Okay, that makes sense. We can hire there from the from the Rolodex. That's fine. You can create a new squad. All right, I knew how to do that already. That's fine. To repair items, you have a repair kit. Choose mechanical skill. All right. Oh, there's a radio menu now. That's pretty cool. Okay. And so then we have medical kits. There's a typo right there. It says medial kits. As in like remedial kits or something. I don't know. We can click on sectors and we can train militia. Yeah, I know how to do that. Okay, I think I'm good. And it says there's a radio menu now? How is there a radio menu? Where is that at? Is it that thing? Oh, cool. Alright, so that's new as well. Alright, and so we can choose like our various skills, assuming that we have the proper supplies and we can make things happen. I don't know what that means. I think that probably means that we're just hanging out. But this is the screen where you're actually going to play most of the game from. If you're familiar with Jagged Alliance, this won't be anything new to you. But basically, this is the overmap. We've got to conquer each of these little locations. And each one will give us different bonuses. We can make a certain amount of money from different things. It's definitely... It gets pretty rowdy by the end of the game where they're like reinforcing with tanks and all kinds of crazy stuff. But anything that's outlined in red right here has an enemy presence at it. These little triangles mean that there's a squad. And so we're going to have to liberate some of these zones. Now, we're right here. And if we go this way, it means we're going to get into a gunfight. So the first thing we need to do is we need to hire a team. Now, the team is only going to be hired on a day-by-day notice. If you look at the top right here, we've got a clock that'll tell you what time it is. You can hire mercenaries for 1 day, 1 week, or 2 weeks, and it depends on your cash flow. As you capture locations, your cash flow will increase. So you see these little locations that have a $sign on them? These are the ones you want to cap if you want to make money. They're like farms and mines and factories and things like that that allow you to supply yourself with all kinds of cash so that you can buy more DACA. And if there's one thing I love, it's DACA. So we need to hire... I could do this next fight right here without hiring a mercenary, but we're going to need mercenaries for this place anyways. So we might as well hire a couple. I'm thinking 2 should be fine. We need to lowball though. We definitely don't want to buy anybody expensive. This is the mercenary screen where you can go through and you can see the different perks the different characters have. Everybody at this point will be level 1. You get XP as you kill enemies, and so you'll be able to upgrade your abilities as you go through. Pretty sweet, good thing to know. So we've got Bones over here. He's pretty good with coordination. His physique is weak, but he's good with a gun. Does he come with a lot of ammo? What does he have right here? He's got a Western 15, a 6-shot double action revolver. Is that like a Model 36, or is that actually like a what kind? Okay, so yeah, it is. It's a Model 36. He's got 38 special on him. Okay, so he's got a Smith & Wesson 38 long. All right, well, that's not exactly the best gun ever. What does this do? A listening device with a hypersensitive microphone and adjustable headset. Is that just like flavor, or what does that do? Hitman. Interesting. I don't know if it's... Okay, I don't know if... So, I don't know if it's randomized now. In the pre-release version, the guys that were missing, it was always Hitman and Cliff that were always missing, I think. But you can click at the bottom here. There's a lot of mercenaries to choose from. Let's have a look around. We got to find people who are cheap. People that we can take care of business with. That looks weirdly like Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It might just be me. Let's see here. We've got metal. What is she good at? She's got a snubby, so she's got a 38 snubby as well. Okay, her coordination is not so good. Her marksmanship is alright. Most of what I would use her for is like a bullet soak. Most of the characters we're going to have in the early game probably aren't going to be at the level we need them to be anyways. I'm going to say... Just looking through the gear right here that people have equipped. Cliff, he's got himself like a... Wow, that's an OG gun right there. It's got 9mm ammo though, and the bonus there is that you loot a lot of 9mm ammo, which means that he's actually going to be able to reload. One of the big problems that I've run into in this game is that after the first couple fights, it's very, very easy to run out of ammo if the enemies aren't using the same kinds of guns that your squad has. And so, knowing metagame, they drop a lot of 38 special and they drop a lot of 9mm, and so getting characters who have those is probably a pretty good idea. Let's call him. And so his nationality. After a string of bad relationships, Cliff turned to alcohol for comfort. When sober, he's an outstanding doctor and a decent shot with firearms. He might be a drunk most of the time, but he's reliable when called upon. Okay. We're going to hire him for a day. I think, what's it going to cost for a week? $5,000. I think that might be a little bit premature. Let's go ahead and 20% on squad. Ooh. So he's actually a little bit more expensive. This 20% on squad, I'm assuming, I don't know if that means he doesn't like me, or B, if that means that, because the characters, some of the characters don't like each other. That was one of the big things you had to work with in previous Jagged Alliance games, is some of the mercenaries really dislike each other.
Hello? What can be done for you?
Okay, I think what that means is because they're deploying on top of me, maybe it's an extra cost to have them hella squatted in or something. I don't know. It'll be $1,000 for the day, though, so let's make a little bit of money. We'll hire... What does Hitman have? He's got a nicer gun. Ice has a Gangster 45. I've had him in the pre-release, and he's really, really good. So is Red. He's a Scottish sniper. Although they changed his gun. He comes with a Tinchester. He used to come with like a... I don't know. He used to come with an old bolt-action rifle. It's kind of like a sniper rifle type thing. Anyways, let's see here. We've got Blood. We got... Okay, so he's got the same gun that I do. I prefer, but he comes with a bullet vest. That's pretty good. Ivan. He's got himself... What the hell is that? An Ubrez. It's like a sawed-off shotgun, but done with a rifle. Really? People do that? That seems like a really... I don't know. I guess you're just making your own... I guess you're making your own carbine or something. I don't know. Anyways, we'll go with... We're gonna go with Bones, and then we're gonna go with Cliff. And so we'll hire him for one day. Okay. He's already on, and so we're gonna hire another merc too. I think we could do it with 2 mercs, but it might get a little bit hairy once we get in some of the deeper fights towards the end. So I'm gonna go with Cliff as well. So we've got 9mm, we got 38, we got 45 ACP. We should be able to keep everybody in ammo just from looting right now. And so I'm gonna hire him for one day. And there it is. And so we have $11,000. We don't have that much money, so we kind of want to take this one thing at a time. Additionally, when you have mercenaries on your squad, you want to make use of them while the sun is shining. Like, for every moment that they're not working on your squad, you're wasting your money. And so you want to get the most bang from your buck by deploying them to every fight possible. And then once their contract expires, you go back and do other things. So let's go ahead. We're going to move to this location right here. And you can see our little green tab moved on over. Hostile sector. We have to go into battle, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So in we go. Scully is a super friendly guy. He's been married 7 times and has 8 kids. That doesn't sound like he's friendly. It just seems like he's good at picking up women and getting them pregnant. I don't mean to split hairs here, but... Alright, I do wish that there was a way to put yourself in turn-based mode before you spotted an enemy, but let's go ahead. I'm just going to move people around a little bit. Okay, so there's somebody on our right. You could see that because it did like that little wave thing right there. The enemies are walking around at the moment. I'm going to deploy him to right there. And then I'm going to deploy this guy to the opposite side of the fence, and there it is. Okay, and so there's our first contact. We have an enemy that is up, and so from this position right here, it's 2 AP to walk over to there, which means it's probably going to be 2 AP to walk back over to here. Yes? Okay, so it costs him 8 AP to shoot, which means that we should be good with 2 shots and a step back. So let's do that. Bam, son! 2 shots and step back. And then what we'll do is we'll also get his facing ready for next turn. There we go. On this side, can Cliff take a shot from right there? He could take a bad shot from right there. I think what I'd like to do then with Cliff is let's consider flanking him maybe? Yeah, let's flank to right there. That actually seems lovely. Cliff's is not such a great shot by comparison to Bones, so I learned something today. Let's take, his name is Dr. Cole. We are killing a man with a PhD right now. Ooh. 54 damage crit right there. Took him out. He dropped himself a flashbang grenade and 12 gauge ammo. I like how Cliff laughs like a psychopath after he murders somebody. I'm going to clear out that spot. We're going to face him that way. Ooh, command failed, not enough. So instead what I'll do is I'm going to move Brewski up to here. Oh, there's an enemy right there actually. That's no bueno. Okay, so I'm going to have him drop. I'm going to have, he doesn't have any AP left. I'm going to have him move up the side of the truck then so that he can assist from right here so we can get ourselves into a nice little shootout. Oh, we've been flanked. Okay, so there's one over there too. I don't know what that guy's doing. He's just like running around in circles or something. Alright, so now we gotta pick our targets. I think Bones should be able to handle this guy, no problem. You just missed with a... How do you even... There we go. Alright, so he's riding on empty right now. He doesn't have the AP to reload. Ooh, and a utility strap vest. Hell yeah. Let's go ahead. We're going to have Cliff. Actually, I'm going to have my main character take a shot. So in this game, you gain skills through practice. The more you shoot, the more you level up shooting. The more grenades you throw, the more you level up grenades. I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. In fact, I'll open up the inventory right now. And what you will notice is this little bar will fill up the more that we shoot. When it reaches the end, you get +1 points. Just things to think about. It doesn't cost you AP to open your inventory, which is the other thing that I was verifying right there. But if you move anything around in your inventory, it will then charge you AP. So just be aware that you can look at your inventory. It's look but don't touch rules. So imagine yourself in a relationship. It's look but don't touch rules. Let's go over here. We're going to shoot him a couple times. Yeah, successful shot is successful, son. We don't get any bonus, but a headshot would be nice. Oh well. There we go. And so we've got ourselves a casualty. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You see our marksmanship bar went up by a little bit. I think the last time we looked at it, it was like over here by the end. It went up slightly because I landed 2 shots. So there it is. I'm going to have him reload. Every time you're in between battle, I swear, make sure that you reload. I forget so much to reload my guns, and it really is an important facet of the game. There is nothing better than stepping into combat with none of your guns loaded or with 2 rounds, like in the one in the, you know, with 1 in the chamber, 1 in the clip, 1 in the magazine. I'm going to have the main character loot everything because these guys could potentially leave in a little bit. So what is this? A strap vest equipped with many pouches and pockets. Great for further expanding one's inventory in combat. Okay. I'm going to throw that on my character. And it should show up on the character from what I understand. It actually adds the armor like in old school RPGs. I've also got another band-aid right there. Considering we've got a decent skill at medicine, I don't think that's going to be too bad of a call. Yeah, it shows up on our character. Cool. We're looking strapped for combat now. And then we've got a flashbang and 12 gauge. We can put that into squad inventory. The thing to be aware about squad inventory, so I'll make a few addendums right here. Squad inventory cannot be accessed while you are in combat. So if you think that you're going to run out of ammunition, just head the whole thing off at the pass and then put the bullets in your inventory before you go into combat. Seriously, you will regret it. But if you're not in combat and you just need the extra space, throw it into your squad inventory. It'll probably work out fine. The flashbang grenade looks like stuns enemies, reducing their action points for several turns. Most effective at blast center. Because I'm good with grenades. Yeah, there it is. See how that's what the vest did, by the way. I didn't point out what the vest did, but it added quick slots right here so that we can carry more gear along with us. I don't know if you can put bullets in quick slots to maybe increase the speed at which you reload. No, it doesn't look like you can. All right. So that looks all right. I think we're in good shape right now. I'll probably go with Cliff. Let's think about maybe... Hey, Cliffy Poo. Okay, so I guess I gotta click him right here and then we'll go back through. There we go. Cliffy, take him bullets. I don't know if this is going to be anything like the other Jagged Alliance games where you can loot your mercenaries in between and then sell all their gear off. I know that was a thing in earlier Jagged Alliance games. I never played Jagged Alliance 1 or 2, but I have watched LPs of them, and I played Jagged Alliance back in action. And I remember I specifically would hire mercenaries sometimes just to loot their characters and take all their stuff. Now, the game controls with left click. I hadn't brought that up at all. I did want this to be a little bit of a first impressions video. It's not first impressions. I have played this game a bit outside of this LP, but it was all pre-release. And so the game controls with left click, so that's going to throw some people off. If you're one of those command and conquer people like I am, or a StarCraft person, the right click, left click dichotomy is probably going to throw you off for a couple minutes before you finally get used to it again. There's a chicken right there. Is it a hostile chicken? Chicken, stand and deliver your eggs, because seriously, I love myself some eggs. Let's go back to the world map, and I think we're actually going to be able to get quite a bit done today. We're back on the world map, and so what we need to do right now is we need to hustle to Badilla, and in Badilla we need to meet up with Salt, who is a guy that runs our spice, or I don't know what his name is, Spicy or Salty or something, I don't know. It's something related to cooking, and he lives right here in one of his little local taverns, and so you can go and get some information on the island from him. This is a prison over here. You don't want to go anywhere near there until your squad is better equipped. This place is a little bit more dangerous than any of the other locations. What I will say is that it's probably wise that we go to this location and capture it, because what you may notice, I think, yeah, so this supplies us with income. We get $2,000 per day, which as of right now is actually enough to make sure that we can renew our contracts every day and keep both of these guys on our squad. Or if we wanted to, at the end of the day, we can go get some more expensive people, because basically we're around 1,000. So losing $200, $300 a day isn't too bad. But you can also train militia at this location. Now, what is training militia? Training militia puts a little pip on this location so that when the game auto-resolves a combat, so you see these little triangles right here, these are enemy squads. I brought that up in the previous episode, or maybe at the beginning of at this one. They move around, they will capture territory, they will hit different locations. You've got decent choke points in this game, and so you want to make use of them. But as they move around, let's say that they decide they want to take over this because it supplies you with money. If you have militia here, it turns it into an auto-resolved combat where your little militia guys fight against their guys, and if you outnumber them, that tends to be how it works. If you outnumber them, they tend to outshoot them. Now, I haven't played around with the militia system a whole lot. I played around with it in the pre-release just to see if it worked. In previous Jagged Alliance games, you could leave somebody here to train people, and you would start out with a green recruit, and that green recruit would then, they would tick up, and then eventually they would turn into blue recruits after they'd been in a couple fights. Then they would turn into like red recruits, and they would get better and better at their jobs, so that during the auto resolve they had better gear and better skills, and so they were more likely to outshoot the enemy. Whether or not that system has been put in place in this game, I don't know. We'll find out. But for right now, training militia is not something that I'm really inherently that interested in. If we start seeing this guy move around, I think we'll probably... Let's see here. Okay, so it was moving me around. I couldn't see my little thing move, but we've gone to the hostile sector, which is full of enemies, and so this is going to be Badilla. Let's get this thing underway. Now, the last time I did this with 5 people, and it seemed like huge overkill. So I'm thinking with 3 people, we should be just about right. However, the 5 people that I had in my group the last time I attempted this all had like assault weapons and things, and so they were definitely unleashing a torrent of pain on the enemy. Let's take this very, very slow. I do know where the enemy should be at, unless they changed the city around since the last time I was here. That's also a possibility. I'm going to try and grab everybody right now. And we're just going to move up slowly. I'm not going to move up in the center of the road because that's a recipe for tragedy.
On my way.
But we will move up along the side. Looks like they got either banana plants or plantain trees or something over there. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I think the city looks a little different than when I played it in pre-release. I can't put my finger on it, but something feels different about it. Maybe I came here during nightfall last time, and that's the problem. So we've got a guy up in his house right now. You can loot houses just in old RPG fashion. Nobody seems to care when you take their stuff. Wolfgang. Erg. Don't they have any decent cheese in this country? Well, it seems like kind of one of those hot countries where you just have a persistent case of swamp ass all the time. And so I don't think cheese would hold very well here unless it was like a very, very dry, like maybe like a Greek goat cheese or maybe like an Italian dry cheese. But that's the only way that I see it like holding in this location. If you had anything kind of runny like a nasty cheddar or anything, I don't think it's going to make it. And so I'm going to pan around and look for things that I can loot because you can definitely get equipment from these places. You should keep an eye out for it. Now, if they don't have room, they have the tendency to do this right here where they run around. Watch out for that. It'll get you into trouble. So let me move one guy around at a time for right now. Inside that closet, there was nothing, unfortunately. Okay, so there's nothing in there for us to loot. What about in this house? You'll forgive me. I'm going to get a little bit pedantic here. I'm going to get a little bit over-obsessed with the details in finding free loot. Gabriella, there's still some soldiers around. Okay, so that's a good tip-off. That lets us know what's coming on. Captain Cork. Is it like Captain Kirk, but instead of an I, he's got an O, I suppose? Captain Cork. I seem to remember the gunfight taking place over in this area the last time that I played it, so we'll probably try and circle around, maybe come up and flank them, see if maybe the shootout will work out in our favor that way. It's very difficult to move people in between fights. I do wish that you could put yourself enemy contact, so yeah, we've got ourselves... Oh, he's way over there.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, so if we wanted to get into a gunfight over here... It's actually going to take us a little bit of an effort. We can use the cow as cover, which is pretty hilarious. I think I'll consider... That fence is full cover, huh? Interesting. We're way outside of our operating range right now. Maybe I'll just have him run over to the side of the wall here. No, I don't like that idea either. Both those ideas seem subpar to me. I don't want to have this battle out here at all. Like, this is a bad spot for this fight to happen. I'll have him flank that way, and hopefully it all turns out alright. So having him flank that way, we will have Bones Romero. I'll get him in behind this fence for right now. We'll have Cliff. Cliff, can you even get down here right now? No. Your alcoholism is impeding your ability to rotate positions. Alright, as expected. We're probably going to take some fire right here. The enemy turns do take a little while in this game, so you'll have to bear with me. It's not something that I can really fix. It's a problem that bleeds over from a lot of other turn-based games too, like Silent... I think Silent Storm is the name of the game. That game, I remember there was an old World War II game where the enemy turns just took forever. Like, you would say next turn and you would go get a drink and like go to the bathroom and stuff because it took so long. It looks like he's going to try and close the gap with me. So it may be worth it to try and flank and spank his ass. But for now, I'm going to turn that way. And he's got a visual right there. I think I'm going to have him get low. But keep an eye on him. Because if I have him go down to prone, he'll lose sight of this guy. And I don't want him to lose sight of the objective. Now, over here, I don't think it would be a terrible idea. Take one of the mercs and advance them a little bit hard. And then have them drop to prone right there. So that he'll have to come around this way. And expose himself to even worse fire. It might work. It's going to cost 20 AP. Let's give it a try. We got plenty of people to cover him in case this doesn't work.
I'm on it.
And then I'm going to have Cliff over here. We'll have him turn and face that way. Let's have him take a knee. Or maybe even take a prone. Yeah, take a prone. That's fine. And nobody's going to fire right now. We're just going to hang tight and see where the enemy rotates to. Okay, so he's going to run up and try and point blank. He throws a punch, which is ineffective. That's pretty amazing, though. You got to figure, Bones is probably pretty good at hand-to-hand combat if he can fight somebody while on the ground while the other person's standing. I don't watch MMA that much, but I'm pretty sure if you're laying on the ground, you are at a disadvantage to some guy running up on you, especially if he's got a scary bandana. You can shoot your own troops in this game, and in fact, there is a perk that keeps you from shooting your own troops. It's probably one of the best ones in the game because that means you can auto-fire into your own ranks and not have to worry about it. I wasn't able to secure it, though, when I was doing my character design, so unfortunately, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and take some shots at him. Wow, he is really, really excited about the fact that he just murdered somebody. I can imagine being like, gotcha, bitch, but having a long, cackling laugh after you shoot somebody, seems like it seems like it's sort of flirting with psychopathy. His name is Bones, though, so I guess, you know, take from that what you will. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and get him on his feet, I guess. We'll have him advance along. We're clear for right now, right? Let's wait it out. Let's wait it out. We'll keep our eye on the field. There we go. Oh, wow, he's got a big-ass gun, too, so this could get rowdy. I'm glad that I didn't advance anybody forward. What I may attempt to do, I know there's guys in the market over here, so I don't really want to put Cliff over here so that we're fighting a two-fronted battle. I don't want any Napoleonic situations or any World War II type situations happening here where we're fighting on too many fronts to actually get anything done. However, let me get Brewski on his feet. And let me see what the possibility is. Gringos aquí! This is not the place to be right now. The prince's soldiers are looking for Marion. You could not have come at a worse time. I need to find Spice. Do you know where he is? I don't know who you're talking about. Just get out of here before the soldiers see you. Listen, Marion told us to seek him out. Where is he? She's alive? Oh, praise the Lord. Spice's bar is down at the beach, but be careful. The soldiers are in town. Thanks for the help. So I want Brewski right here. That gives him a little bit of limited cover from that guy. Maybe I'll have him hit a prone just in case. Give him a little bit of extra dodge value. I still haven't decided what I want to do with Cliff just yet. If I was feeling brave, I would move Bones to here, and then I would move Cliff up to this position. Play like a little game of leapfrog, maybe. Well, it'd be leapfrog if I sent Cliff over to there and he stayed. But anyways, you get what I mean. You get what I'm saying. And if you don't, well, I feel like I've elucidated it enough. We've spent enough time. Now, he can actually outrange us. That's the big problem with this guy, is that he can actually fairly successfully outrange us. He's also got a scary name, Chateauquian. That's a super scary name. He's also got a flak vest. This is going to suck for us. Ooh, this is all bad. Alright, well, shoot your shots, I guess. Not enough AP for him to duck and cover or anything like that. I actually overspent right there, unfortunately. I'm gonna... Let's get Brewski on his feet. And I'm gonna have to go for a fairly aggressive flank right now if I want this to work. So let's go ahead and be aggressive. Be aggressive. Turning costs 1 AP. Oh, never mind. It costs 2 AP. What can you do for me? What can you do for me? So I can put 2 people in point-blank fire range. I don't really want them firing over each other's shoulders. If he decides to go semi-auto, if he decides to go burst fire on Bones, I think we're about to lose a character, and this is going to be a very, very embarrassing way to start out my LP. Let's go over to here. He can't flip around, but that's all we got right now. So, maybe that's all she wrote for Bones if the enemy decides to do something. What is he doing right now? He decided to take a shot at Cliff, interestingly enough. Ow! Okay, so we've taken fire. Oh! Yeah, there's definitely somebody nearby. We have a major problem right now. And he's out of line of sight. That's enjoyable. Oh, no, he's not. We just got to turn around and shoot at him. We only got a 50% chance to hit him, though. Let's deal with our problems over here before we get ourselves any deeper into trouble. Before we step knee-deep in the doo-doo here. So Bones can't shoot to right there, but he's got line of sight on me, but I don't have line of sight on him. Suspicious. Bones is going to have to reload before he can do anything. But we may be able to score a kill here. Really? That guy is still up? My god. Okay, so I've got to make a snap decision right now what I want to do about this situation because we've been flanked hard. This is what happens when I play aggressively. This is what happens. If you step to like right there, can you take a shot at him? He's still out of line of sight, huh? There we go. That's what I wanted to see. It's a 50-50. I suppose we'll go fishing right now, and then we'll jump him back into cover, I guess. Over on this side, we have to decide whether we want to run for the hills or whether we want to stand our ground and fight right here. We're not going to be able to get him at the moment. I think this is the only guy on this side, but he's already gotten the first shot off on us, which makes me a little bit nervous about engaging in combat with him. The AI is not so great. That chicken seems to be very, very lost and confused. I think I'm going to run back over to here. And I'm just going to hit a prone for right now. And I'm just going to hope for the best. If he decides to hold his position and fire on Bones, then maybe I'll advance along this side and flank him from there. I don't know. I just don't know right now. So Bones, we got that. Okay, the blue meter, if you're wondering what this blue meter is right here, it's the fatigue meter. They added that in the release version. I don't know what exactly it does. It goes down. So every time you spend AP, it goes down slightly. And when it hits the bottom, I think your characters are exhausted. Oh, that guy bled to death. Hell yeah. I could not have asked for a better result right there. Awesome. And he's also got a Gangster 45, which means that since our character has 45 ACP ammo and also has a benefit to using SMGs, that's a Tommy gun. It's a Thompson. So we might be able to use a Thompson right here, which would be really, really good for us. So that's a great loot drop at the beginning of the game. I think I'm going to break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Jagged Alliance Flashback. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.